This video is brought to you by my generous Patreon supporters. Have you ever ridden Boston's commuter rail, looked at the map and thought, what's that tiny little line down there with just 2 stations? Why is it so short? Well, I decided to go for a ride to find out, and I brought my friend Miles in transit with me. We would be riding the MBTA's Stoughton branch to Stoughton, Massachusetts, reviewing all 3 stops on the line and exploring the towns they serve. Stoughton trains start in Boston South Station and share Amtrak's Northeast Corridor for most of their run, but at Canton Junction, they split off to Canton Center and the town of Stoughton. The Stoughton branch's total length is 4.1 miles from where it leaves the Northeast Corridor to its end, by far the smallest in the MBTA commuter rail system. We headed out from South Station and rode south down the corridor. After almost 15 miles, we reached Canton Junction, where we curved off onto the Stoughton branch. To be honest, there really wasn't much to see as we made our 11-minute journey to Stoughton. Mostly just trees and single-family homes. But there would be a lot more to explore once we'd arrived at our destination. We disembarked at Stoughton's high-level platform, then walked across the street to the old station building, where we watched the train pull away. So the layout of the station here in Stoughton is fairly odd. We have like a newer section over here with a high-level platform and a departure board, and a track for the train to pull over there. Then we have a road crossing, as you saw moments ago in the video. And then over on the other side of the track, there is a active functioning station that dates back to, what year was it, Miles?
1888. That's a good number.
Here's the beautiful station building. The clock is completely inaccurate, but it's still right twice a day. Fun fact, this was actually the 4th station to be built for Stoughton. The first one burned down, the second one blew down, and the third one got torn down to build the current one, only to have a train crash through the wall. Thankfully, they got it fixed, and nobody died.
Now that's a fun fact.
So this looks like it used to be a ticket window.
There's very old scratch tickets. There could be a winner in there, and we'll just never know.
Oh, it doesn't have the plexiglass. Let's see. Okay. Oh. We got a little waiting room. There's a Christmas wreath. There's the ticket window there.
It is worth noting this is one of 5 MBTA stations that's only open on weekdays. So it's this one, Canton Center, which we'll go to next, and then Wickford Junction and TF Green Airport on the Providence line, and then Riverworks on the Newburyport-Rockport line. However, this is the only bit of trackage that can only be accessed on weekdays on the MBTA commuter rail network.
So what did you rate the station when you blogged about it?
Apparently I gave it a 2.
You gave this a 2?
I'm not sure. I guess I was in a bad mood that day.
Do you want to retroactively give it something higher?
I was thinking 6 when I went into it.
I guess this would have been just a window for passengers to be able to see the train coming. And then the tracks curve off there, where our train is waiting to take us back towards Boston.
You can hear it rumbling away in the distance, or at least we can.
Now we're here in downtown Stoughton, which was just, you can literally see the train station right down there. Let's see what this little town has to offer.
It's not a little town. We got 15,000 people who live here.
So this is the Stoughton Company.
I was gonna make that joke if you didn't. And this was an old movie theater. You can see, like, on the poster, I think that's what it used to look like, but they kind of...
Or maybe that's what it's going to look like.
Oh, that would be even better.
Oh my goodness, there's like a little model railroad in this old abandoned movie theater.
I think a tornado hit it, but some of the buildings are overturned. I feel like this used to be a normal intersection, and then a traffic planner just got their grimy little hands on it, and now it's this.
Transit-oriented history.
History! Tracks!
Oh, hey! They're like streetcar tracks.
Wow. There was a 1-seat ride from here on a trolley to the Mattapan high-speed line, which actually I don't think it existed in 1903, but whatever. But basically, like, up into Boston. Let's look at the sign. It's Stoughton Bakery and Cafe.
It is worth noting, to copy your catchphrase, that there was another gentleman who was on the old platform and had to run over to the mini-high to get on the train.
That's some pretty 2 out of 10 station behavior.
To be fair, if you weren't with me, I would have gone to the old station. With our adventure in Stoughton complete, it was time to head to Canton Center. Now, believe it or not, the Stoughton branch was, at one point long ago, its own railroad, called the Stoughton Branch Railroad. Very original. By the time it opened in 1845, however, the company had been absorbed by the railroad running from Boston to Providence, known then as the Boston and Providence Railroad. Again, very original. In 1855, tracks were extended from Stoughton to Northeaston, where they were eventually connected with the Dighton and Somerset Main Line, linking Boston with Braintree, Taunton, and Somerset. There were, of course, a lot more lines in the area, but these are the only ones that matter for our story. Eventually, all these lines became part of the Old Colony Railroad, and trains would end up serving New Bedford and Fall River. So as you can see, the Stoughton branch didn't need to be any longer than it was. It was just a short route between two main lines. The Old Colony Railroad eventually became part of the New York, New Haven, and Hartford, or New Haven for short, which drastically cut back commuter services in the 1930s. Stoughton branch services survived into the MBTA era, likely due to their proximity to the Providence Main Line, while the line through Northeaston was abandoned, at least for now. More about that later.
You can actually see where it splits into double tracking right there. Well, I can honestly see Canton Junction from here in my zoom.
They are very close.
So here is Canton Center Station.
Track 1.
Of 1.
You could be like 15 feet tall and be very comfortable on these benches.
We've got a mini high over here.
Okay, so this sign is a commuter rail classic. Danger will not clear man on side of car. Women and non-binary folks, I don't know what to tell you.
Here's a shot of the shelter.
Oh wow, look how they have, like, there's all these bollards here. Then they have to put the ad up, so they put little mini bollards down and still painted them the same way as all the others.
Also, fun fact, Canton was named after the erroneous belief that the Chinese city of Canton, now known as Guangzhou, was on the opposite side of the world from it. This is impossible, as they're both in the northern hemisphere.
Now that's a fun fact.
At long last, we made our way up to Canton Junction. This station has a unique design, featuring platforms for Providence trains on the Northeast Corridor, as well as staggered inbound and outbound platforms for Stoughton trains and massive ADA-accessible pedestrian bridges to get to everything.
Platform A to Providence, Platform B to Boston, Platform C to Stoughton.
I think this is platform 4, also to Boston, where we will be getting our train. It begins.
Okay, I'm gonna play this, fast forwarded.
Yeah.
That took 2 minutes to walk up, according to my camera.
Wow.
So from here we can kind of get a good view of the whole station setup. We've got the platform curving off towards Stoughton here. And then becomes single tracked right after the mini high down there. And then you can kind of see the relation between the Stoughton branch and the Northeast Corridor over here, where you have some mini highs for the commuter rail, and of course electrification for Amtrak.
And beyond this station is the really epic Canton Viaduct that's like the oldest viaduct that's ever been built in history ever.
And here's the actual junction of Canton Junction. We've got the Stoughton branch over here, and then the Northeast Corridor right here, and they meet right up here. It would be really cool if a nacella came tearing down this track right now. This is the time of day when Providence trains run express and Stoughton trains run local. And this is annoying. You can't just go from this ramp to that ramp. You have to go all the way around there. And then, you know what?
That's a topography issue though. Because,
Well, if you're 6'1", there are no topography issues.
And that was the Stoughton branch, a simple line to a few towns that made for a fun evening ride. But in the future, this line could be far more. Phase 2 of the MBTA's South Coast Rail project aims to restore the line to Northeaston and Taunton, with trains continuing from there to New Bedford and Fall River. This will require the construction of new stations in both Canton Center and Stoughton, with 2 tracks and full-length high-level platforms. And yes, that would mean building yet another Stoughton station. And hey, if extending the line doesn't work, electrifying it would be really easy. It's so short, you can just tap into the power from the Northeast Corridor. But do you know what dream I just made reality? The first video of my Europe series, featuring a ride by rail and road from the original British Boston to the original British Washington, recreating the Amtrak Northeast Corridor in the United Kingdom. If you'd like to watch it, it's up on my Patreon now. Otherwise, it'll be up on the main channel in a few months. Thanks to Miles for joining me for this video and to everyone for watching. Take care.